Yeah, yeah. Apple vibe we on. Lately I ain't even been home. I'm working, tryna put myself on. Ain't chillin' till I'm on my phone.
Hello guys, welcome to Boxing Blog Center, the home of Nigerian and African boxing. We are live right now. Shout out to our brothers who are live with us. Shout out to Coca Kenneth Frank It says greetings to everyone in the house. Shout out to Wasiu Moshud. It said, who are they fooling? Then those guys are not serious. Fury should fight Wilder and AJ prepare for Usyk. I mean, we know that they are fighting Deontay Wilder, bro, but that's not the reason why we're here. We already know what happened. But the shocking thing is that this fight was never, according to Frank the Snake Warren, this fight was never signed. They didn't sign their part. Meaning they didn't, they let the fans down, and they didn't, give us what we wanted, what we always wanted. So let's listen to Franco right here and break it down, because we got our brothers in the house right here. We got Ajibade in the house. We got Adewale, and we got Ty Ajagbe. Maybe Mao Joe will join very soon. Now let's listen to Frank the Snake Warren speak.
How are you, my friend?
I'm very good. It's been quite a week, it's fair to say. Tyson Fury announced the Joshua fight was on, and then a few days later, he signed pen to paper for a different fight, the third one with Deontay Wilder. Just tell us from your perspective how it all kind of panned out in the way it has.
Right, can be long-winded this. So,
go for it.
The fight, back in January, we agreed terms between all the parties that to how we would negotiate and move forward for the fight. That's ourselves, Top Rank, Matchroom, both Tyson and Anthony Joshua and their respective management companies. In that agreement, there is a clause referring to the arbitration, and it's still outstanding. The view of I think you've seen Bob Arum's quotes on it. The view from his lawyers was that they felt that that it was at an end, and that also that there'd be no problem moving forward. Having said that, the arbitrator hadn't given his decision, and it doesn't matter what Eddie Hearn wants to say at the moment. The facts are he was very much aware of that agreement because he signed it, and so did AJ, as well as everybody else. Negotiations were going on for the fight for quite a while, as we all know. Seemed like it became every day. Hearn was announcing that the fight's on. Tomorrow we'll do the contracts, we'll be getting this and that, and all that was just went on and on. It became boring, and it certainly did not happen because nothing was ever signed. And that was also in breach of an agreement that any announcements would be, and we'd all announce them jointly. That was in this agreement we made. So that's where we got to. Tyson was getting quite frustrated, having been out the ring since last February 2020. And it got to a stage where we all got quite fed up being, every day we're getting closer to this is going to happen. And Tyson said, look, you got 48 hours to get this fight on, or I'm going to fight Wilder and just bypass everything. He then had a conversation with Prince Khalid in Saudi Arabia, who gave him a lot of comfort. And I think you've seen the video that went out as a result of it. Coincidentally, the next day, the arbitrator gave his decision, which stated that the fight against Wilder had to happen, and that was it. The unbeknown to us, and since has come to light, Usyk's lawyers had said they were going sent a letter before action. They was going to injunct everybody to stop the fight because it infringed Usyk's position. And remember, Usyk was promoted by Matchroom, so they weren't looking after that side of the business. And from our perspective, none of us knew about that. We all thought that was all okay, but obviously it wasn't. And it was, as I say, they had their lawyer had written to everybody. Pat English and John Hornwell, two lawyers, had written to everybody telling them that. So that was the position we were in. Subsequently, there was talk about trying to work a deal out with Wilder, but they weren't interested. And Tyson just said, look, let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this obligation now. The arbitrator's given his decision. Let's get rid of it. And that is exactly what's happening. So they're fighting now on the 24th of July. Shelley Finkel, I know, just wanted his man in the ring, as Al Heyman, his promoter, wanted it. And I think more importantly, from their perspective, Deontay Wilder wanted the fight to happen. So that's it. So all this talk over God knows how long now, how many months, and every time you and I have done an interview, I've always said, there's nothing here till it's signed, because there are a few stumbling blocks to be sorted out. And obviously there's two of them. Plus we hadn't even sorted out the British TV side. Of course it was going to be Sky and BT, but the terms were never agreed. And that was another thing that had to be done. So a lot of this stuff was going out, and it was not the type of fight that needed hype. You know, it's a fight, everybody would see that. If you'd announced that today without all the rubbish that's gone before, everybody would be, you wouldn't have to be able to print enough tickets for it. And the fact is that, the facts of it all is it just became quite tedious. And as I say, from Tyson's perspective, he just wanted a fight. And I think the arbitrator's decision just basically, that's how it's going to be. So now they've both got to come through their respective fights, and hopefully they do. And then it'll go on in, I hope it can go on in December. The thing about it though is AJ going to fight Usyk or vacate the title? Number one. Number two is he's only got one fight left with Matchroom. Is he going to renew, or will we be dealing directly with him? And which will make it probably a bit easier, because the egos and everything will be going out the window. We can just focus on getting this signed up and agreed. So we will see.
If that were to happen, if AJ were to vacate and Joe Joyce were to fight Usyk for the vacant title and win, where would you sit on terms of still making AJ Fury or making Fury against Joyce for two of the world titles, and they're both your fighters?
Well, if he does vacate it, I'm sure if Tyson's going to fight, I'm sure AJ will want to fight over the summer. I'm quite confident of that. And if they do, there'll only be 3 belts on the line instead of the 4 belts, which would be a great shame. I don't think it diminishes the fight, but it would be a great shame.
If you had to pick between that and Fury Joyce for 2 belts, and they're both your fighters, so it's easier to make, would you still pursue AJ Fury because it's a mega fight?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's the one that matters. Joe will be the mandatory anyway. Joe Joyce will be the mandatory for the WBO title. So the good thing about it is that even if AJ does vacate, if he were to vacate, then Usyk will have to fight Joe anyway.
Yeah, good point.
But anyway, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And hopefully, as I say, they remain unbeaten and they fight in December. But all this rubbish that's going down about, we didn't really want it. I mean, what planet are people on to even come out with stupid comments like that? Tyson gets nearly 4 times the amount of the purse he would get, more than 4 times the amount of purse he'll get for fighting Anthony Joshua. And it'd be the same thing for Joshua if he's fighting Usyk or somebody else. Financially, it's in their interest. Financially, for us as promoters and the managers and everybody involved, TV companies, pay-per-view, that's the bigger and better fight. Why wouldn't you want that fight to happen? It's just stupid. It's just been handled, it's just a mess, and it's unfortunate, but it is where it is.
How much of a surprise to you was the
I'm going to tell you guys right now something.
Although you knew it was always going on in the background, you'd been assured by Bob Arum's team, apparently.
I'm going to tell you guys right now something.
You would probably win the arbitration. That there didn't
Frank Warren is, I don't want to use the word, but I have to. Frank Warren is a piece of shite. Okay? The guy is very, very unreliable. Talks nothing but bollocks. How can you say, this is why boxing, when our brother Winke told me the other day, like, he's going to be taking a break from boxing for some for some time, I looked at him and I say, you want to take a break from boxing? Why? What did happen? He told me things, the toxicity of, all this, the fans, some of the fans. In fact, I really want to see Deontay Wilder beat Fury right now, man. Listen, I hope Wilder beat Fury. I don't know if he can, because the skill set, they are very miles ahead. Like Fury, skill wise, is just miles apart. So Wilder must knock Fury out in order to win, because he cannot win on points. I don't see how he wins on point, Fury being the better boxer. But I just hope he knocks him. I just hope that at least he catches him with one of those right hands, because what Frank Warren just came to, is coming up with right now, he's just nothing but bollocks, absolute bollocks. And it is as a sad thing, should I show you guys the dislike? Let me see if I can show you guys. Listen, let me show you guys the dislike of this video right here. The dislikes of the video alone tells you that the fans are not happy, and they see this. Look at it. Look at this dislike right here. Look at the dislike. 375. This might even get to, guys, if you're watching right now, go hop that dislikes. That dislike button right here, hop it. I've already hopped mine. Hop it now. Keep just disliking. Even if you have 10 accounts, this is absolute bollocks. This is absolute bollocks. This is criminality. This is what you call daylight robbery. Let's get our brother Ty Ajagbe in here to give his take on what he make of this. Fury never signed to fight Joshua, according to Frank Warren, saying that, that's the reason why they said there will be a joint announcement and all those kind of stuff. Those guys were planning things, behind the scenes. Bob Hearn played this game very well. Okay, he used Eddie Hearn, and what's so funny is that Frank Warren is saying, there was so many the ego. Like they hope they deal with Joshua directly when they fight him in December or so. Who knows what might happen in December? Because looking at things right now, Deontay Wilder is yet to even say anything. Fury has been calling Wilder all sort of names. He's been calling him pussy. He's been calling him Dosa, just many words, so many many things. And Wilder is yet to even utter a word. That shows that Wilder is really getting ready and serious about this. So what if Wilder wins? I just hope if he wins, okay, if is a big if, because like I said, if Wilder was, had a little bit, if Wilder was a little bit skillful, I would say he have a chance. But because his skill set is not that solid yet, then he has a puncher's chance, but it's just a very slight chance, because without that punch, if he doesn't catch Fury clean, I don't know how he wins it. Because in a boxing match, Fury outbosses Wilder. That's just reality. And it is sad. Unlike Joshua, for example, who's got a solid skill set, who doesn't rely on his power. So, it will be a different case. But Wilder, I just hope that Wilder catches Fury and, send him to La La Land, because that guy, deserves to be sent to La La Land after what he did to boxing fans. Tajagbe.
Yeah, what's up, man?
How you doing, bro? How you doing? How's New York?
New York is okay, man. Too much traffic.
By the way, how's the pandemic there, man? Everything is going good in New York. Governor Cuomo. I heard that it's very strict.
Nah, everything's back to normal, man.
Oh, everything's back to normal. Good.
Yeah. Everything's going back to normal.
Okay. Good, brother. Yeah. What do you make of this, brother?
So no more masks. Yeah. Well, let me just say one thing. Frank Warren, Bob Arum, they played Eddie Hearn. They made a fool out of him. And now, I gotta bash Eddie Hearn for believing these two snakes. I mean, the two biggest snakes in the game, and you believe them too.
Why were you bashing Eddie Hearn?
I have to bash Eddie Hearn, man. He's supposed to be this smart promoter. I believe he's a smart promoter, but why shouldn't we bash Eddie Hearn? I mean, he knows that he should know, like, oh wow, there's an arbitration going on. Let me not put my all into believing these two. You know, let me have it on the back burner that something is gonna, you know, these two, they might not be believable. The two biggest snakes in the game are telling this guy, you know, and they finally come out and they're telling this guy, oh, the fight was never signed. Tyson Fury coming out saying the fight was signed. Of course, you gotta bash him, but you know what? This is a learning lesson for Eddie Hearn, because in the end, he's gonna have the last laugh. Guess who's gonna come back around and try to want to fight with Anthony Joshua? Tyson Fury. And guess who's gonna have the last laugh? It's gonna be Eddie Hearn, because in the end, Eddie Hearn will always have the last laugh, because I believe,
bro. Did you hear the part where Frank Warren said Joshua just have one fight left on the Matchroom, okay, with Matchroom, that they are also backing on him, you know, leaving Matchroom and having to deal with him directly because of ego. Bro, ego. Imagine, Frank Warren is so bitter. Like, I don't know how someone can just be so jealous. I mean, I thought this only happens in the African community, or let's say in the black community. You know, in the black community, you see the elderly being jealous of the younger generation. It is visible. Some elders do you know, jealous, do have some sort of jealousy towards the younger bloods, you know, the youngsters and all this stuff. I just thought this is, you know, this black community or African community. I never knew this also happened in the so-called UK. I mean, this is no longer jealousy. This is hatred. You know, saying, oh, the ego. Like, the ego of what? The ego of him wanting to make the fight happen. The ego, is it because that Eddie Hearn has you know, links and maybe relationship with has established a solid relationship with the Saudis? What is this guy so jealous of, and why does he hate Eddie Hearn so bad? Continue, bro.
Well, like I said, it you know, unfortunately Eddie Hearn did make that mistake, but like I said, he's gonna have the last laugh. And when it comes to trying to make fight, listen, Eddie Hearn or AJ, either one of them are gonna have the last laugh, because they messed up. Tyson Fury jacked shit up, and now, you know, if Deontay wins that fight, he knows not to fuck shit up when it comes to making a fight again with Anthony Joshua. He's gonna make that fight. You know, now Tyson Fury's out. He's out of the equation. I don't think AJ will want to make that fight, because AJ will tell him, okay, if you want to make that fight, there's gonna be some tough stipulations in that fight. And let's be honest, man, AJ is gonna be the A side and all that, you know. And you know, Tyson Fury and Bob Arum and Frank Warren, they shit the bed when it comes to making that fight. They could have easily said, unfortunately, we have the Deontay Wilder arbitration going on. There is absolutely no Tyson Fury versus AJ in sight. You know what I'm saying? So they could have easily said that, but they let the fans on. They completely lied to the whole boxing world. Everybody that loves boxing was looking forward to this fight. They lied. So why should we believe anything that comes out of their mouth next? Why should the fight fans want to see a fight, you know, without a title from Tyson Fury? Why should the fight fans want to see a fight with Tyson Fury versus AJ without a title fight? You know what I'm saying? So I think all that plays into the part. So I think in the end they really hit the nail on the coffin in there when it comes to making deals. No promoter will ever believe them to ever again, and I believe it'll play a part in Eddie Hearn's hands and AJ. And I think it's a good. I'm glad this happened, because Eddie Hearn will learn. Eddie Hearn learned his lesson, and it's gonna make him a better promoter. And that's what
Ajibade, I beg mute him now. I beg. Ajibade, always muted, bro.
Yeah, that's where I'm gonna end it, bro. I'll come back in it.
Yeah, thanks, brother. I want to appreciate you for that. We have our brother Adewale in the house. Adewale, come in. I know you are a Deontay Wilder fan. I know you're gonna say bomb squad now. I know you're gonna say, I told you. I know you're gonna say so many things that is in your mind, that's been bothering you, or you've been wanting to say. Adibade, mute time. I beg, man. Mute this stuff. Okay, bro. Adewale,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I beg, remove her for. Adewale, wait. Adewale, remove her for you Bluetooth.
Okay. One
All right.
second.
All right.
Sorry, I'm sorry about the delay.
No problem, bro. No problem, bro. We're waiting right here, bro.
Okay. Bluetooth. Just trying to figure it out that bit.
I think
Better now. Very clear.
yeah. So it's better.
Yeah, bro.
Okay, perfect. So yes, just exactly like you said.
Bomb
let me start off
squad,
with
like you say.
Bomb Squad. To this day, listen, man. I have a very different take from every one of you guys. Because I am the opposite of um, Eddie Hearn supporters, Anthony Joshua fanboys, and I'm not a Deontay Wilder fanboy. Okay, but I just dislike injustice. The injustice that Deontay Wilder has suffered throughout the last couple of years in the hands of boxing fans is just unfair. Point blank and period. If you ask an average boxing fan, why do you hate Deontay? They don't have any reason. They're going to say stuff like, oh, he has chicken legs. Oh, he talks too much. Oh, the guy is not humble. He's too proud. What do you expect? He's a fighter. He takes punches in his face for a living. So why should he be humble? I just don't get it. These guys hate Deontay Wilder simply because Eddie Hearn started a smear campaign that went out of control. But anyways, going back to the Frank Warren interview, man, Bob Arum came out recently during the time of the negotiations between Fury and Joshua. He said, the contract that we signed does not have a legal recourse. And I came back and I said it on this show that they signed a piece of tissue paper that should be thrown in the toilet and flushed. Those were my words. And that is exactly what Frank Warren is saying, that Tyson Fury never signed any contract. So why are they expecting anything meaningful to come out from the negotiations? Because they knew that they were in court. They were in an arbitration process. In all honesty, they deceived Eddie Hearn. But because Eddie Hearn has a vendetta against Deontay Wilder, he was lying to the entire boxing fans that, no worries, you guys think I'm not able to get this done? I will get it done. Yeah? I will get the fight made for you guys. Trust me. Because he was trying to spite Deontay. If he had a brain in his head, if Eddie Hearn was a smart guy like you guys always portray him to be, he should have known that the arbitration that I have no control over can go either way. And if it goes Deontay Wilder wayside, then the fight is not happening. So why should he go ahead and be lying to the entire fans that, oh,
bro, I have to stop you right there. I have to stop you right there.
He didn't lie, bro.
I have to stop you right there.
He wasn't lying.
Like
What?
Like Bob Harum told Eddie Hearn that the arbitration has nothing, okay, would not affect the fight. This is what he said. And on what planet does an arbitrator, give a specific date for a fight? I mean, at the end of it, like I'm not a legal practitioner, but when Eddie said it, I had to go do my research. On what planet does that happen, bro?
So was that Eddie Hearn that said that on what planet does an arbitration give a date?
Yeah, an arbitrator give a
Bro,
date for a fight.
Trust me, my brother.
Like,
I need you to do me a favor.
the damages
Please.
Eddie Hearn was expecting Team Fury to pay for damages. I said, okay, you're not fighting anymore.
Brother.
And Bob Harum also had the option to pull out last December, but he didn't do it because they needed Eddie Hearn to boost the Deontay Wilder trilogy fight up, and
Bro.
maybe they succeeded. But at the same time, what I'm seeing right now, go watch the interviews. Go look at the interviews. Look at the ratings right now. Bob Arum ratings and Frank Warren's ratings, Tyson Fury himself has gone down. Nobody is even happy about it. Although I want to see this fight, the trilogy fight, because I want Deontay Wilder to knock Tyson Fury out. Do I think it happens? I don't know. It's very slim. The chance is very slim because Fury is a much better boxer by a mile, okay? But at the same time, I do believe, I do feel, I do want, there's the desire of burning desire in me that wants Deontay Wilder, the Bronze Baba, to send Snake Fury to La La Land. Continue.
Man, I like that, bro. See, bro, honestly, I need us to start keeping the same energy when it comes to these promoters. They're all liars, okay? Frank Warren, Eddie Hearn, Bob Arum.
Bro,
Eddie Hearn only got a taste of his own medicine when he got played by Bob Arum.
You just don't like Eddie Hearn. You don't like Eddie Hearn, okay? Eddie Hearn is not a liar.
I definitely do not like Eddie Hearn. I don't like Eddie Hearn, but I
Bob,
also
okay.
don't like Bob Arum.
Yeah,
Just so you know, I equally
say.
don't like Bob Arum, and I don't give a damn about Frank Warren. They are promoters. They are supposed to lie to us, the boxing fans. And that's why I don't really listen to their interviews. The only interviews that I really pay attention to is that comes from the fighters. I don't care about these promoters. They are liars. Not especially a guy like Eddie Hearn. Come on, Eddie Hearn, bro? No way. But most importantly, the hatred that you feel like Frank Warren has for Eddie Hearn, it actually started with the beef between Frank Warren and Barry Hearn. And then when Eddie Hearn took over Matchroom Boxing, you would realize that he became very disrespectful. He was using this new social media age to promote Matchroom Boxing. He went out there because he had a clash with Shelly Finkel. He started calling Shelly Finkel Shelly Winkle, and you boxing fans ran along with that. You were dissing Shelly Winkle.
That has nothing to do with. Listen, the history.
Who's speaking? Who's speaking? Who's speaking?
Mayo Joe.
Mayo Joe. Oh, Mayo, what's up, my bro?
My brother, I'm good. I didn't feel you, but at the same time,
I don't want to finish.
Let me mute.
Mayo Joe finish, and then Mayo Joe will come. Finish.
Okay. Let me just end it.
Sorry, bro. Go on, bro.
No props, bro. Let me just end it real quick, man. At the end of the day, I don't blame anybody. I mean, I blame all the promoters for letting that fight fall through. I congratulate Deontay Wilder for finally having justice on his side, and anybody that feels like I can pick and choose who to blame for this fight falling apart. Oh, I'm only going to blame Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn and Bob Arum. I'm not going to blame Eddie Hearn. You're still being unfair. You're being unfair to yourself. They all colluded, including Eddie Hearn. If Eddie Hearn was realistic, he should have known that the arbitration could go either way. And that's what I have to say. Thank you, people.
Thanks, brother. I do appreciate it. My Joe, brother, come in, bro. I bet you feel more for
yes,
Bluetooth.
Sir.
In Bluetooth they use. I'm not earpiece.
Yes.
Now Bluetooth they use.
Let me no, my earpiece. I don't come out on Bluetooth. So.
Okay. I'll go leave it like this then. All right.
Now, in all of this, I would say that the smartest person in all of this so far is Shelly Finkel. And I'll tell you the reason why I think he's the smartest. He kept quiet. He said nothing to the media, nothing to anyone, but he was working in the background. All right. So in all of this, that guy has proven to be the smartest. Okay. I'm just going to put it on the side because, like I said, when I do my own analysis, I try to be as objective as possible. All right. Now, I understand that Adewale has got deep hatred for Eddie Hearn, but I'm going to counter a few things. Eddie Hearn has, I would say, we can actually blame Eddie Hearn as well. We could blame him. We could put some blames because, in all honesty, Eddie Hearn knew quite. Why
will you blame Eddie? Why will you blame Eddie Hearn? Eddie Hearn.
Okay, I'll tell you why.
Why will you blame Eddie Hearn, bro?
Bro, I'll tell you why.
What kind of guy is that? Why will you blame Eddie Hearn? Eddie Hearn walked his bollocks off to get his fight made. He
did.
Oh
but
my God.
I'll tell you why I'm going to apportion some blames towards Eddie Hearn. You know I love Eddie Hearn. I love him, trust me, because after reading his book, Relentless, my eyes literally opened up. Like, I was like, wow. Because that book just showed me a whole lot of things I didn't know about boxing, about promotion, about everything. There is a lot of things that goes on behind the scenes that we do not know about. A lot. I recommend that everyone goes ahead and read that book, Relentless. Anyway, see, the reason why I'm going to blame Eddie Hearn, and even Eddie Hearn, he accepted it a little bit. Now, I'm talking to Eddie Hearn now. He knows that in this boxing business, on the promotional side, these guys, everyone lies. Fact number one, including himself. Okay? The only thing we could say is that their level of lies might be a bit better. Like say Eddie Hearn's level of lie might just be a little bit better than Bob Arum's level of lies. Okay, but they all lie. The difference is that some of them are perpetual liars. Like Bob Arum is a perpetual liar and a perpetual cheat, where he wouldn't want to pay his fighters, he wouldn't want to pay their opponents. Frank Warren is always in court. Why do you think Frank Warren is broke today? Frank Warren is broke today because he is always in court. His fighters are always taking him to court because he will promise you a deal and he will not fulfill his part of the deal. I mean, the list of the number of fighters who has taken him to court, the list is endless. The list is literally endless. So he has paid a whole lot of money out of court settlement, and that's one of the reasons why he's broke. That's one of the reasons why he is not popular. Trust me, this guy is hated in the UK, and even more so now, the level of hatred that people have. See, Frank Warren cannot put on a successful show right now by himself. I'm telling you the truth. He really cannot, because people won't turn up. People will not buy the pay-per-views. People are pissed. So let me go back to Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn is a smart guy. Eddie Hearn knows quite all right that everyone in this game, everybody lies, including himself. Like I said before, Eddie Hearn could be less of a liar, but they are all liars. And he should not, in any way whatsoever, all right, when you've done business with people in the past, you will know you don't take people's word. You don't do business by mere words. Until I see the paperwork, mate, I'm not moving ahead. Until I see the details of the arbitration, I'm not moving ahead. You don't trust people like Eddie Hearn, who has been in the business. People like Bob Arum, who has been in the business for forever. Okay, and this guy has had issues. I mean, Eddie Hearn should have just looked at him and be like, hold on a minute. Why can't I have a bit of inside info as regards this arbitration? How can I just go by your words? How can you just tell me that, oh, it's okay, don't worry, just keep chasing the deal? But you know that this thing with Deontay Wilder is a serious case. Tyson Fury signed a deal to fight Deontay Wilder for the third time. So they are in court. Yeah, it might not be your everyday court, but arbitration, mediation is still a court. It's still a legal dispute. Okay, so you cannot tell me that a guy as smart as Eddie Hearn shouldn't have done a bit more. He admitted in that interview. He said, "Should I accept some blames? Maybe I shouldn't have trusted him." You don't do such large deal. We're talking about, come on, this deal is worth hundreds of millions, man. And you're just going to go into a deal like that with mere words, with what Bob Arum told you. Don't worry, you just keep. Listen, mate, I'm not going to go ahead. I'm not going to do such deal if I don't see the paper trail. If I don't see the evidence that, listen, this arbitration, I need to see some inside info. So that's where I give him the blame. But in terms of delivering the fight, in terms of this guy being a dog, come on, man. At the end, regardless of the situation, regardless of the lies, regardless of how he was cheated and how he was lied to, Eddie Hearn, hands down, is the best boxing promoter in the whole of the world. The fact that he delivered, people don't understand that. See, in every negative situation, there is always a blessing. And the blessing in this situation is that every fighter now, they are looking at Eddie Hearn, trust me, and they are telling themselves, this is the guy we should be working with. Eventually, in the next 2-3 years, I am telling you, Eddie Hearn is going to have almost 70% of boxers under his umbrella. Trust me, go write this down today. Because all these boxers, yeah, and upcoming boxers as well, forget arbitration.
Bro, we are losing you, bro. We've lost our brother. I think he's driving. That's why. Let's get our brother.
And being like, is still able to agree. Hello, can you hear me? Oh my
Yeah,
God.
we lost you before. We lost you before, bro. It's okay.
Oh damn. Hello.
Continue.
Okay. So they're looking at Eddie Hearn and they're saying that yes, they're looking at Eddie Hearn. I'm talking about the fighters now. They're looking at Eddie Hearn and they're saying to themselves, if this guy is able to deliver such a huge deal in the midst of a pandemic, it simply means that this guy is literally the best. You see all these Frank Warren and Bob Arum, they are losers. They are telling you. See, people may say, oh, you might hate Eddie Hearn all you want, okay? But look at it from another angle. This guy is setting a precedent, and I'm just warning the whole boxing community. This guy is going to monopolize. In fact, I don't want that to happen because I don't want boxing to be like UFC, but it's going to get to a point. All these boxers are going to start signing up with Matchroom. It's going to get to that point because look at Bob Arum. He's 90 years old. I don't wish evil for Bob Arum, but at some point, this man is going to leave this world because he has lived a good life. He's an old man. Who is he handing over to? At 90, he still wants to have all the power. Look at Frank Warren. He's 70 years old. He can't even allow his son to take the lead. But look at Eddie Hearn, a young man, is already taking the lead, so he's far ahead of all these other guys. By the time Bob Arum and Frank Warren, by the time they get off the scene, Eddie Hearn would have dominated completely. And I don't want boxing to get to that stage where it's going to be monopolized. I don't want that. So we might curse him all we want. We might hate him all we want right now. But trust me, this is still a win-win situation for Eddie Hearn because he delivered this deal. Yes, the deal did not go ahead, but he delivered it. Now, for Deontay Wilder, brother, Deontay Wilder, Ajewale Deontay Wilder, listen, congratulations, my brother. I am happy for you because this is justice. I am happy even if you lose, but I pray you win. I pray you win this fight, Mr. Deontay. I pray you win this fight. I don't know what you've been doing, but I'm happy you're quiet. I'm happy you're grinding. I'm happy you're doing what you're supposed to do behind closed doors. And I won't be too surprised if Deontay Wilder beats Tyson Fury. Fury is not focused. He's got his family with him in camp. You see him on Instagram every minute posting. Fury is posting stuff every hour. I follow him on Instagram, so I know. He's not focused. He is going into that fight overconfident. You get what I'm saying? He thinks he's going to go in there and he's going to steamroll Wilder.
Bless him, man. Hello? Continue, bro.
Can you see hear me? Sorry, my connection is so bad.
No while. Continue.
Right. So, yeah, I was saying that I just really hope and pray that Deontay Wilder is able to do a job on Tyson Fury. I know that Tyson Fury is not focused right now. He's actually not focused. He thinks he's going to go in there and he's just going to steamroll Deontay Wilder. Let's hope that Deontay Wilder is able to do it. Now, Frank Warren mentioned something about AJ's deal being up with Matchroom. That is a lie. AJ has one fight with Sky Sports Boxing, not with Matchroom. He still has a contract with Matchroom, but his contract with Sky Sports is only one fight left with Sky Sports. So Frank Warren can hate and be jealous all he wants, but AJ is with Matchroom. and AJ and Matchroom, they're going to work together, I believe, until the end of AJ's career, I believe. So, Mr. Frank Warren, you can keep hating all you want. Your empire is gone down. Your empire is completely gone. So, I think the earlier you start allowing other people to grow that empire that is dead, a dead empire. All you have going on for you right now is your history and the fight you have put on in the past. But in terms of how relevant you are right now, you are not relevant. People are hating on you. Nobody likes you anymore, Frank Warren. Nobody. You put up shit shows in the UK. Always shit shows. That's why your shows are so low ratings. You can't even do pay-per-views. You're just full of it. You're full of shit. You're full of shit. When you put up a video, you have more dislikes than likes. You should just give it up, mate. Give it up, man. That's all I've got to say for now.
Thanks, brother. I do appreciate you for this. Let's get our Ajibade on here. Ajibade, are you with us? Are you with us, Ajibade? Or not? Let's see. Okay. Ajibade, I think there's connection. Let's get our brother back. Ty Jagbe.
What's up?
Yeah, man. So what do you make of Maujo's statement and all that, bro?
My Joe's statement, he's correct, man. Everything that Frank Warren said thus far, his the lies he continues to spew, it's evident that he's it's been evident that he hates Eddie Hearn and dislikes Anthony Joshua, because of what Anthony Joshua has done for the UK, and he's unable to replicate what he has done in the past, and that hurts him. So, I mean, he just had a upcoming heavyweight, that just quit against Joe Joyce, or took a knee or whatever you want to call it. They made the wrong move and they let Daniel Dubois go out instead of them, telling the ref we must call this fight off. They let the man go out and take a knee, and he's been labeled as a quitter, and now he's being set up as a fight with what's this guy's name that fight Pula?
Borgandino.
Bogdandino. I honestly believe that is the one of the worst person you want to put against Daniel Dubois. Bogdandino is not a test for Daniel Dubois because one, Bogdandino is a known quitter himself. So you put two people who quit in the ring. What does that tell you? That's not going to help Daniel Dubois, man. But I guess it's all about trying to get Daniel Dubois into the ranking and knock off Bogdandino. I think Bogdandino is probably the 8th in the WBC, maybe. That's what he's trying to do. But I personally believe, Frank Warren, is pure jealousy of Eddie Hearn, because Eddie Hearn right now has changed the whole platform. Imagine that somebody like Eddie Hearn being able to make deals in Saudi. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Frank Warren can't do that shit. And he's been in the game longer. It's embarrassing. So, all the lies that he's spewing, eventually they're gonna come back and it's gonna be, oh wow, we gotta ask Eddie Hearn for a favor. Listen, in the end, Eddie Hearn right now runs the boxing game, other than this guy, Al Heyman. Al Heyman, who does everything behind the scenes, which I think is a very smart businessman and a very smart promoter. And in the end, they're gonna run back to Eddie Hearn, and they're gonna need something, and they're gonna shit themselves when Eddie Hearn plays them out. It's gonna be interesting to say now.
Yeah. What about Anthony Joshua? Okay, having one fight left in his contract, and Frank Warren kind of hiding the fact that, saying that we might have to negotiate with Joshua directly instead of Eddie, instead of Eddie Hearn, because of the ego and all those kind of stuff. Like, what do you make of that, bro?
Well, it goes back to me saying that Eddie Hearn is basically. I mean, Frank Warren knows. Oh, I messed up with Anthony. With with Eddie Hearn. So it's better for me to deal with AJ, bro. You, AJ is just as pissed, man. I don't think he understood. I don't think this guy ever understood. Much like when Frank Warren was looking to make a deal with Eddie Hearn during the pandemic. The guy was basically struggling and really didn't have money. Not say money to pay his fighters. He was struggling with that, and he needed Eddie Hearn's help. He wrote Eddie Hearn, I need your help. Let's get together and try to see if we could do something. You know, and I don't know the whole things of that, but in the end, like I said, he doesn't know. He can't go ahead and start making up stories. I believe who's AJ gonna go to, other than if he decides to let me start up 258 management. It's gonna be a headache, man. Just stay with the guy that deals with the whole promotion and knows the business sides of it. I believe AJ. AJ. Listen, I don't know if AJ and Eddie Hearn, they might have some fallout, they might have bad blood, or they might bump heads. But listen, in the end, I believe them two work together hand in hand, like perfectly. You know, whatever AJ chooses, whatever Frank Warren, whatever Eddie Hearn does, I believe it always works out in the end. It's just pure jealousy coming to Frank Warren, and he hates to see that.
Thanks, brother. So let's talk about Joe Joyce. Frank Warren also said that he's eyeing a July 24th UK show that could be headlined by Joe Joyce and lead into Fury versus Wilder 3. He also mentioned that he's planning a July card with Callum Johnson, Lyndon Arthur, and Anthony Yard at the Royal Albert Hall. Now, who do you see Joe Joyce fighting next? Like, who do you think he will fight next? Like, Joe Joyce was set to fight Usyk. That now looks unlikely because of how things have unfolded. And if Joe Joyce doesn't get the Usyk fight, which is unlikely now, okay, it means Joe Joyce is not. It's just gonna be ranked number 2 in the WBO. There's no shot at the at the interim position anymore. Like kind of a little bit like disappointing in a way. Like, who do you think Joyce is gonna fight next? Because listen, the Dubois that he defeated is fighting in 2 weeks time, right? So it's weird, man. I think Joe Joyce to think about his future. Man, the guy needs to join Team Hearn. He needs to Hearn with Hearn in this case because Joe Joyce is not getting younger. What do you make of this, bro?
But Joe Joyce is I think he has a lot of options, man. That's gonna put him in a good in position. Let me see. He could take the route of fighting, you know, who I believe who was in the mix of fighting Philip Hugovich for a title eliminator for Anthony Joshua. He could fight. He could go that route and fight them two. You know what I'm saying? And he'll be in line to fight Anthony Joshua either way, because at the end of the day, you as a boxer want to get paid the most, and the money man currently, the landlord, is Anthony Joshua. You know, I believe any other way they won't pay him as much. That's what I personally believe. If he decides to go towards the WBC route, where I don't know who's who's in those rankings, unless he decides to fight Luis Ortiz, which I believe he's number 6 in there. But it wouldn't make much sense then. You know what I'm saying? So JoJo's right now has options, and I believe if I was him, I'll decide to fight Joseph Parker and I believe him beating Joseph Parker is extremely high.
Well,
That's what I
Parker
think.
sustained an injury.
Oh, I didn't even know he sustained an injury.
Yeah, Parker. Well, in that Chitora fight, he sustained an injury. That's what Eddie Hearn, emphasized on in his recent interview. He also, because Parker was supposed to be online to fight Egovic for the IBF, mandatory position, but it's not. So IBF is now looking looking at the possible options for Ergovic. Parker was, because he's ranked higher, of course, but yeah, it's an injury, so he didn't want, and the fight is not happening. They're looking at Tony Yoka. So I mean, things are a little bit crazy, but no one is mentioning Ajagba, So I would have loved to see Ajagba in there right now, man. But yeah, continue, bro.
I believe Jojo was supposed to fight for an interim title with Usyk, anyways. Either or, that was still gonna put him in a good position, but a title eliminator versus Anthony Joshua would be great too. It's all about being in the right position, and it seems like these guys want to be in the right position. Hold on for me, bro.
All right, brother. No problem. So I want to say big shout out to each and every one of you that are subscribed to the channel. You guys heard it from my brother Jagbe. And I just want to see, listen, I'm going to be looking, of course, looking forward to, watch Jojo's fight. Hopefully by then, the pandemic, the lockdown rules have been a little bit, they've been eased, so that we can, travel and, I would love to watch Jojo's fight live. It'd be nice to see the guy fight live. Support the guy, So, yes, guys. Let me, of course, take a look at the comments on the live chat right here. We got a super chat from 4Ben Media. He's a new guy, 4Ben Media. He said, exactly, people let that devil slander water. I mean, he's saying, Eddie Hearn. Shout out to K Gentro, to Goddess Alurera. Shout out to J Ocon, to SO, the SO of the RO. Look at K Gentro said, what injustice has Wilder faced? What injustice has Wilder faced? I don't know if we have you on. Maybe my Joe can emphasize on that more, because I don't listen. I can't say I'm a Deontay Wilder super fan, but I do want him to beat Tyson Fury. I'll be supporting him to be, because I want to see the guy fight Joshua. I mean, we've been through this before. With Wilder, it was a little bit different. At least if Wilder were to be given a 50-50 power split like Fury was, I think there would be no problem. I mean, all the saga that happened maybe would have happened. But I understand Wilder at that time was not, his profile was still very much low, okay, compared to now. Of course, now Wilder is at, his profile is low, still low now, but if he beats Fury and knocks him out cold, bro, his profile is going to definitely go up, and I'm waiting to see Deontay Wilder beat that fraud of a man, Tyson Fury, because that guy has let the boxing fans down, and it is just a pity that when you look at how all of us, shared, for Fury, yeah, it's a pity, and it is a very, very sad scenario. Wizard Sleep says folk hate Wilder cause he's a total. I wouldn't say that. Wilder is not a total. Yeah, what you say. See, he's just like arrogant and bold, and he believes in himself. You know, you have to believe in yourself at some point. But although, of course, Water is a little bit arrogant, but I just think he believes in himself, and he has that. I don't know that kind of warrior mentality. The one thing I didn't like about Water is that he wanted to be what he's not, in terms of like acting like want to be gangster. You know, which is not. He's not. He's not from the trenches. He's from a very humble household, so that's the only thing I didn't like about Water. You know, but other than that, I mean, Peter Von ARS says AJ was gambling right along with Eddie that the Fury Joshua fight would happen. AJ signed 45. AJ wasn't really, yeah, he was like a gambler in a way, but AJ just, I mean, at the end said Joshua did not really believe like that. He wasn't 100% convinced Fury would fight him, you know. So, shout out to Corey's Edmonds. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to Lisa Bills. She says BBC and I appreciate you. So many comments right here. Let me just give you guys shout out. Kevin Cossity says, when is fight? I mean, what fight? You mean Fury Wilder 3? July 24th? It's been rumored, but we don't know. Like, you know, Fury and Team Fury. Team Fury are chameleons. Okay, they are snakes in the green grass, so you don't expect them to really be truthful like that. But we'll see though if the fight really happens on that day or not. So I want to say big thanks to each and every one of you that support the channel. Go follow me on Instagram at Boxing Blog Center. Go to Instagram, type Boxing Blog Center, and then you find me there and follow me and write me there, and just called boxing. You know. God bless you guys.